So this is the current time, but let's say it's not actually 5:15. It's actually 6:30 a.m. Well, how do you change that? So it's really simple. We're just going to go over here to the More button, press More, and then we're going to go to Clock here. Whoops, it was a little too slow. So I'm going to press More again. I'm going to go to Clock. And then I just use the arrows here on the right, up and down, to adjust that time. So I'm going to keep pressing up until I get to the time that I want. So I said 6:30 a.m., but I'm going to stop at 6:30 p.m. just because it's going to take me a long while here. There we go, 6:30 p.m. When I'm done, I press the Done button, and then here's my thermostat display, and there's the current time. So pretty easy to fix. To adjust your thermostat, there are some simple instructions you can follow. So this is the thermostat here. I've just taken it off the wall to make things a little bit easier. But to start, what we're going to do is we're going to set up your thermostat. So we're going to press the System and Fan button, and then hold the fan button for 5 seconds until we see a 4-digit code on the screen. There we go. So this is a 4-digit code, and there's going to be a series of these that we're going to cycle through to adjust some settings on your thermostat. Now this first code, 0120, applies to the first 2 digits of the year. So your options here are years in the 2000s or years in the 2100s. So we're going to keep that at 20. Then we'll go Next. Our next code is 0130, and that applies to the last 2 digits of the year. So if it was 2016, we'd have 16. If it's 2017, that's 17. So we're going to leave that at 17. Next is 0140, and that applies to the calendar month. So it's currently November, so I'm going to leave that as 11. If I want to change it, I can press the up and down arrows. So I'll press Next. Next, 0150 applies to the current calendar date. So this is the 10th day of the month. So I can just use the up and down arrows to make sure that says 10, then press Next. 0160 applies to the schedule options. So if I cycle here, I've got only the options 0 and 4. 0 means that your thermostat isn't programmable, and that's not a recommended mode. So we're going to set our thermostat so it is programmable at number 4. We'll go Next. The next number is 0320. This programmable bit asks if you want your thermostat to be in Fahrenheit or Celsius. So 0 is Fahrenheit and 1 is Celsius. So you can decide whichever you prefer. I'm going to keep mine on Fahrenheit. 0330 asks you, do you want your thermostat to automatically adjust for daylight savings time? The default is 1, and that means that it will adjust for daylight savings time in the fall and spring. So I'm going to leave that because that's a handy feature. 050 is the number of programmable periods per day. Now you may have noticed that your thermostat has 4 programmable periods: occupied, unoccupied. There's an occupied one, an unoccupied one. There's 4 of them, and it's a little bit confusing. So you can adjust this to only have 2 periods per day instead of 4. So the default is 4, and you're going to change that to 2. That'll make things a lot easier when it comes to programming your thermostat. So let's change 0540 to 2. Next. So this is the time format. Do you want your time to display as 12-hour or 24-hour? My suggestion is just keep it at 12 to keep things simple. And that's it. We're back to the original code, 0120, which means we're done. So we're going to press the Done button here, and that will conclude the setup of your thermostat. So next, I'm going to get my thermostat working in the proper mode. And what I mean is, when you look at System, there are some different options here. There's heating, cooling, and off, and auto. And then there are some fan options too. So I'm going to set those up to be the best options. So I'm going to press System and Fan. And I'm going to change my system from off, which is currently flashing, over to auto. And to do that, I'm just going to press the up and down buttons until auto is flashing. So now my system is set to auto. It automatically cool or heat depending on what I need. Then I'll press the fan button, and my fan is currently set to high, but I'm going to adjust that to auto. So I'll press the up and down buttons until I get to auto. There we go, it's flashing, so it's now set. I'm going to press done to save those settings. So next I'm going to set my thermostat up to be programmable because I want it to turn or to adjust the heating and cooling based on the different times of the day. So I'm thinking that I want it to be cooler in the evening and a little warmer during the day. So I'm going to go over to the More button here, and I'm going to press this button again to bring up the schedule. And I've got the days of the week flashing on the screen here. Well, I've got just Friday flashing, but all the days are listed. So if I want to change all of the days of the week, and this is kind of what I recommend because it's easy to do, I'm going to I'm going to start with Monday. So I'm going to move using the arrow button up to Monday. It's flashing. I want to edit that, so I'm going to press the edit button. Now it says I can deselect that day, but I'm going to go down. I'm going to select Tuesday, so I'm going to press the down arrow. Tuesday is flashing, so I'm going to select that day. I'm going to press the down arrow. I'm going to select I'm going to select Wednesday there, so I'll select that day. I'm going to select Thursday, select that day, select Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There we go. So I've now selected all the days of the week, and I'm going to press next. So now that I've done that, I've got two options here, occupied one and unoccupied one. And when we were setting up your thermostat, we changed one of the codes so that you don't have 4 programmable periods, you just have 2 now to make things a little easier. So I'm kind of thinking of occupied 1 as the daytime. So I've kind of written a note here, and I've written occupied 1 is daytime, and I start my day at 7 a.m., and I want it to heat up to 70 degrees, and when it's the summer, I want it to cool down to 72 degrees. I've also written here my nighttime thoughts too. I want the thermostat to adjust at 9:30 p.m. at night. The heat is going to go down to 67 and will cool down to 70 in the summer. So occupied 1 is my daytime information, unoccupied 1 is my nighttime information. All right, so I've got my occupied 1, which is my daytime information, flashing. So anything I change on the screen is related to the daytime temperatures I want. So it says that that is going to start at 7 a.m. If I wanted to change that, I'd just press the next button, and now I can change that from 7 a.m. to something else. So I like 7 a.m., so I'm going to keep that, and to adjust, you're just using the up and down arrows. When you're done with that time, you're going to press next. Now you're telling the thermostat at what temperature you want to heat up to. So I want to heat up to 70 at that time. And when you're done, press next. Now, thinking of the summer, what temperature do you want to cool that down to? I want to cool it down to 72. There we go. And then I'll press next. And now we're in the night mode. So unoccupied 1, think of that as nighttime. For me, I want things to change at 9 p.m. That says 9 a.m., so I have to adjust that. I'll press next. There we go. So I'm going to change this to 9 p.m. Just keep pressing one of the arrows until, actually I want to change it to 9:30, so I'm going to keep going until I get to 9:30. There we go, 9:30 p.m. Next. I want it to heat up to 67, because I want it a little bit cooler. So I'm going to press next. And then I want it to cool down to 70 is what I wrote, and that's what it shows here on the screen. But again, you can press up and down and adjust that to whatever you like. So I like that. And I'm now done. So I'm going to press the done button here. So it'll say saved up here. And then your thermostat is programmed. So let's say you're going to go away on a holiday and you want to adjust your heating and cooling so that you're not, using too much heat or not using too much air conditioning. Well, the way to do that is you're going to press this More button, and then you're going to tap on Holiday. And it says right here, what's flashing here, it says set to 70 for cooling. Well, when I'm going away, I don't want it to be that cool in my place, so I'm going to change that to 78 to let it get a little bit more warm in my unit. Then I'll press next, and I go over to my heating, and I like it nice and cold when I'm away. I don't need it to be too warm, so I'm going to leave that at, I'm going to change that to 66. And then the next part is you press the next, and then this will start flashing. It's asking you how many days you're going to be away. So I'll just press my up and down arrows until I get to the number that works for me. I'm going to be away for 24 days, and then I'll press next. Oh, sorry, I'm going to press done, sorry. And now it's in holiday mode, and I know that because it's flashing holiday. Now, if you get home early from your holiday and you want to go back to your program, you can just press the cancel button, and then you're out of holiday mode.